What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 4 for 4 Philly Fan Podcast. I know I'm not on my computer right now. Something went wrong with my editing software, of course, so I had to hop on to my phone while I was recording. It just kind of fell apart on me. I don't know what happened. I'll figure it out tomorrow, but it's just a little bit too late for me to do all that now. But I did want to get a Sixers video out today. The Sixers demolished Indiana. 130 to what? 114? 130 to 114. It was an absolute domination. In the second half alone, the third quarter, we went on a 20-2 run at one point. The Sixers started a little slow. We had to fight our way back in the first quarter. And then after that, we pretty much had to lead the rest of the game. The closest it got in the third quarter was 11 points, and it was at the very beginning where the Pacers did start off 2 of 2 from the field. But other than that, the Sixers pretty much dominated the third quarter. Embiid, Simmons, you didn't have Tobias tonight. Scott had a pretty good game. 11 points. Furkan, Milton, Matisse. You know, the bench tonight was very good. It was very good from even the meaningful minutes being played out of Milton, Matisse Thybulle, and Furkan Korkmaz. Shake had 26 points. Furkan had 19 points. It was a great shooting display from those guys. Furkan shot 6 of 13 from 3. He was kind of on tonight, though. Embiid hit him twice, back-to-back plays in the corner in the third quarter to put pretty much the Sixers up for good at that point in the game. Embiid didn't play it at all in the fourth quarter. Finished with 24, 13, and 5 with a couple of blocks. Actually, with only one block on the night. But it was really just a good win against a good Eastern Conference team in the NBA. We play the Utah Jazz on Wednesday, and the Jazz did just lose tonight to the New Orleans Pelicans. So hopefully Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid both play. It's the game before All-Star break, so I hope that they play. They have a week off after that. No reason to rest anybody a day before a week off. So they better be out on the court. Maybe not so much Tobias. This is way more so for Embiid rather than Tobias Harris. I understand Tobias is fighting a knee injury, and I understand if Tobias doesn't play. Even though he did want to play today, the team doctors actually told him that he shouldn't play today. So he didn't play today, but hopefully he can play on Wednesday against the Jazz. Hopefully we have the entire squad, because obviously the Utah Jazz, they're a solid team. I mean, they're first place in the Western Conference. I do think that they are a little overrated, in my opinion. I don't think that they are as good as people, or not even as people, as they think they are. I just don't think so. Jordan Clarkson had one crazy game. He had 40 points against us the last time we played, and we didn't even have Embiid. Simmons had 42. Tobias had 30-something. But I do not expect that again. And I also do expect Joel Embiid to be active for Wednesday's game against the Utah Jazz. But to kind of bring it back into tonight's game, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid were something else tonight. I mean, Ben, 18 points, 6 rebounds. What was it? Only 2 assists, but he did have 2 steals. Sorry if I have to look over here. I'm looking at the stats because, my computer. But Ben had a solid night. He did. And it's crazy to me because I don't understand why he wasn't doing this earlier on in the season. We see how good he is now. He could have been doing this all season long. He is a dominant force when he wants to be. When he wants to drive into the lane, he can do whatever he wants. Anything. He has the most fast break dunks of the season. Some stat that Mark and Ala threw out tonight. But on the fast break, he's insane. He's a great player. I just don't know why it took this long to happen. Through this last month of February, Ben Simmons was amazing. Now, I don't think he was amazing enough to win Player of the Month. I don't even think Embiid did enough to win Player of the Month last month. I think it's going to go to James Harden or Kyrie Irving. I don't even know if they lost at all together the entire month. They were something else. They win again tonight, unfortunately, in overtime. Kind of annoying. But the Sixers are still the number one seed. Obviously, we won tonight. But we're only a half game up. And the Bucks are starting to come back in. The Nets, as I said, they win tonight. The Sixers they're going to need the number one seed. I think so. If you have the number one seed, you got to go through 8. Then you have to go through the next lowest seed after that. Instead of being 2, then you got to play 3. Or 3, you got to play 2. I'd much rather play like 4, 5, 6. One of those teams. But sorry if I'm all over the place. The software really messed me up tonight. I just don't understand why it didn't work. But it was a good effort tonight. It was an exhausting... It wasn't even exhausting. It was a boring game. Straight like that. It was a boring basketball game. The Sixers were making their shots. The Indiana Pacers were not. And the Sixers get the big dub. We were up by as much as like 30 points at one time. Domantas Sabonis was getting absolutely clamped up by Joel Embiid in the third quarter. Absolutely clamped to the point where he was settling for threes. He was taking dumb shots. He was turning the ball over every time he had it. Joel Embiid had him locked down. Miles Turner did nothing, as usual. And Embiid even said in his post-game interview, since he's been in the league, it has pretty much been a one-sided rivalry. If you want to call it a rivalry, I don't know. I wouldn't. I think Joel Embiid owns the guy. I think everybody knows that Joel Embiid owns Miles Turner every single time we play them. Miles Turner's either in foul trouble, or he's not scoring, or he just doesn't look good. And tonight, all 3 happened. I mean, Miles Turner was out of the game early. And, they were down by 30 points. But, Joel Embiid has his way with centers. He was a plus 22 on the night. Simmons was plus 25. As I said, Scott, pretty good game tonight. 4 of 4 from the field. 3 of 3 from 3. With 11 points. If Mike Scott could do that every game, not even every game, if he could do that every couple games or just make his open threes, he is a valuable piece. He can be used on the basketball court. And I understand, I guess he was dealing with some injury, but he looked good tonight. 4 steals from Mike Scott. Everybody in the starting lineup had over 10. And then you add Shake and Furkan off the bench with 26 and 19. Oh, my bad. I don't know what I was looking at. Not everybody in the starting lineup had over 10. That was the plus minus. Danny Green only had 3. 1 of 5. I thought I read that wrong. And Seth Curry shot a little bit better. Had 7 points. But it didn't really matter when he needed to shoot the ball. We were up by so much, so I didn't even care if he missed. Yes, do I need him to make wide open shots like he was missing tonight from 3? Of course I do. I need him to make shots. I need Danny Green to make shots. But we got the big time dub. It was a game that you just knew you were going to win. After that 20-2 outburst by the team, Shake Milton had his night. He just had it going on. Ben, Embiid in the third quarter was phenomenal. I think he had 9 points in the third. He just casually pulled up from 3, right in Miles Turner's face. casually from the top of the key, just lets it fly, bucket, drained it, swish. I mean, Joel Embiid is something else. He's absolutely amazing. And, this team with Tobias Harris is one of, if not the best team in the East, the best team in the NBA. When we are together, we are as complete as it gets. You have your shooters, you have your three, all-star caliber players, or you have your two all-star caliber players. I would even go as far as to say Ben Simmons is another star. And then you have Joel Embiid, who is a superstar, an MVP level, I'll go get you a bucket kind of guy. That's what Joel Embiid has become. Am I complaining? No. Why would I complain about an MVP? He balls out on every single good center, good player in the NBA. Does he have his off nights? Yeah, I guess he does. Toronto knows that for sure. But the Sixers in general, when healthy, when playing together, can compete with any team in the NBA. We've beaten the Lakers. We have yet to see the Nets healthy. We have not seen Milwaukee or the Clippers yet. But we take care of business when we need to take care of business. Boston is not going to be competitive with us unless if they have a big man. Daniel Tice is not dropping 20 points a night on Joel Embiid in a 7-game series. He's not. But Joel Embiid is dropping 35 points a night on Daniel Tice in a 7-game series. That's the difference. They don't have a big, and our best player is a big man. Who is stopping that? Even if you double team him, you're leaving a shooter open. If you want to double whoever and Ben's open, okay, Ben drives to the lane, kicks it out, somebody's going to make a shot. This team is better than most of the teams in the NBA. Would I love a guy like Kyle Lowry or Victor Oladipo or Levine or Beal, even though I know that's not a possibility at this point in time? Of course I would. Who wouldn't? I think Lowry is your most realistic choice of a bigger name in the NBA game. But I do think that if you get guys like PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, George Hill, some veterans that can shoot the ball off the bench, could you imagine a bench that looked like Shake Milton, George Hill, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, Dwight Howard, who had a pretty solid game himself tonight, and Matisse Thybulle? That would be 6 guys coming off the bench. You don't even need 6 guys. I would take George Hill out of that. Because why not? I actually think, well, obviously, you're going to have to trade some guys. So if you're going to get Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, I'm sure you're going to send Scott and Danny Green. I'm starting Eric Gordon, 100%. Your bench consists of Dwight Howard, Shake Milton, PJ Tucker, and Matisse Thybulle. And Shake Milton, if I didn't already say him. Shake, Dwight, Matisse, and PJ Tucker. And maybe Furkan Korkmaz. Maybe. That's a championship bench right then and there. Because they can all start on other teams. But their roles on this team are great. It's what would make this team amazing. Ben Simmons, Eric Gordon, Seth Curry, Tobias Harris, Embiid, and then Shake, Dwight, Tucker, and Matisse off the bench. Yeah, I'll take that all day, every day. But, I just kind of rambled on here a little bit. Just, to get my mind off some things. Expect this to be the new me. Expect this to be, I'm not going to so much focus on the stats of the game. I'm going to focus on the aspect of Sixers basketball, of everything. And hopefully I'm back on my computer tomorrow because that was really annoying. But with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into the 4 for 4 Philly Fan Podcast. This is your host. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Peace. Go Sixers, baby. Still in first place. Let's get it.